Welcome back to Politricks Watch. This is Sir P. Now today I'm going to talk about 2 or 3 topics, right? And I'm going to start off with a bizarre incident that took place downtown involving a policeman and a female, right? Trust me, I'm still scratching my head. The next one I'm going to touch briefly on Chelsea Wilson, right? And then I'm going to finish off with the Susan Bogle case. Now let's start off with downtown. Now people, if you go on the Jamaica Gleaner page, right, you will see there is a series of photos. It looked like there was a cameraman. I don't know if it's a professional cameraman or just somebody with them phone taking picture, right? But it captures the moment when the police officer get into some problem with some woman, and a female is there, and she stepped to the policeman like it. I swear, say she was stepping to a child. You would never know, say an armed police officer was in front of her. The thumbnail picture where you see, she take on the police. Listen, the reason why these things are fascinating to see is because let's say something did happen. Let's say the policeman did have to shoot her, and then that story goes into the news. What do you think John Public would say if the policeman said, listen, I was there and the woman attacked me. I tried to tell her to stand down and back off, and she attacked me even though I had a weapon in my hand? What would John Public say? I'll tell you, there was a lie I tell. People say I lie the policeman I tell. Nobody, especially a female, no female is going to challenge a policeman who have a gun in their hand. That's what John Public would say, right? People say, oh, see, there's another case of police just wake up in the morning and go shot somebody call them poor. That's what they would say. That's what the narrative would be. And your favorite troll celebrity will be reposting it, pouring out their heart in the captions, acting like them care about nobody, right? The agents will be working full time. Here we go, more proof. A story that can't be true. Which woman I got attacked? See there? If the cameraman never did it, yeah, that is a lie. Look at the picture on your screen. And if you want to see all the pictures, then you can check them out on Jamaica Gleaner. But look at the picture on your screen. This female literally has the policeman on the back foot. She literally have the police officer with a weapon in hand on the back foot. That's how put the arrow. She made the man foot look like say a Michael Jackson when him there on stage. Look like any minute now he might go start the moonwalk. This is a police officer being challenged by a female. No one understand why I'm telling you say 87s are getting bolder, because if 87s, remember this is a female and she has a policeman backed up. Imagine an 87 who also have a gun. I'm telling you, say the people are getting more emboldened. There's no respect for law and order. Right? But no one hear nothing. People want to do them feel like, and if police try to challenge them, then we take on the police. And if something goes wrong, they will then switch into victim mode and go on like say, then just walk down the road and this random police just see them and shoot them. Let me say something to the police officer. I commend this policeman. Let me tell you why. He showed extraordinary restraint. Because I'm telling you, this story could have ended real badly for that woman. Real badly. And the policeman would have been villainized. He would have been made out to be a monster who just wake up out in bed and go shoot a random woman. Right? And I also want to say, when I look at the picture, right, on the Jamaica Gleaner website and the one you see on the thumbnail, when I look at the picture, when the woman and I let the policeman on, right, you could see, right, the thing I'm looking for, because you know when you're in this field, there's certain things you look out for. I was looking at the policeman's hand and his weapon, and I realized something. This policeman had excellent trigger discipline. What is trigger discipline? Trigger discipline is how an individual holds their weapon, or where they place their finger in relation to the trigger on their weapon, right? A policeman, right, JDF, well, licensed firearm, anybody, right, who is handling a weapon really should exercise trigger discipline. You see, because the policeman's finger was resting outside, right, outside the trigger guard and not in it, when the woman licked him on, he didn't instinctively let off a round, because naturally if somebody lick you, then you might flinch. And if your finger is on the trigger and you flinch, you will let off a round and innocent people will lose their life. But because this policeman had excellent trigger discipline, his finger was running alongside the trigger guard. Outside of it, when the woman licked him, no round went off. I have to commend him. I have to commend him. Because it could go really, really bad. Not just the woman want to attack him, you know, but for a random civilian. Because when you look at the pictures, you see lots of people standing around looking, right? Yeah, that's the way. So I want to show a go on. People stand up and I watch two people a scuffle with a weapon involved. But as me say, commend the officer. Did well. Did very well, right? Now, let me touch on Lieutenant Wilson briefly. Lieutenant Wilson has been found guilty. And here's the thing. As they say, congrats for finding him guilty on some charge, right? I couldn't see him getting off every single thing. But I just have one question. And this is going to sound crazy, but here's the question. Is that it? When I say is that it, it's because when I look at the charge of him guilty for illegal possession of firearm and one with shooting intent. So 2 charges really. Illegal possession of firearm and shooting intent. That's it. Is there going to be more? I don't. This is a serious question, by the way. Is the trial going to be ongoing and man get charged with some? Is there some murders involved? I'm just thinking this trial is like a very high-profile case. Surely it wasn't all about illegal possession of firearm and shooting with intent. Because if that's the case, listen, you change the Wilson now get flinged in a jail. So I don't know if more will come, but based on how the article sound, right, it seem like say, right, them say him found guilty, right. I know I'm just wondering, okay, we still him get found guilty for, but what the rest of it, right? I'm thinking there must be some murder charges attached here, right? Because they had over 3 dozen charges. Anyway, I'll keep watching it, right? Maybe the article was just focusing on the things that men get charged guilty for, and there's probably going to be some more, right? So let's move on to Susan Bogle right now. People, look at your screen. We're going to do a recap. Now, when the Susan Bogle story first came on, the residents of Augustown, certain residents of Augustown, right, because not all, I'll get into that. Some residents were telling us that she got 3 shots. She in her bed, right, JDF just left up park camp, gone over there, right. People just happen to run past, they made it sound so casual, right, man just run past our yard. JDF go in there, shoot her 1 time, she ball out, and shoot her another 2 times, 3 rounds. Remember the initial story. Of course, the fake woke community, right? Because it was around about the time that the George Floyd case was going on in America. The Jamaicans jumped on the wagon, police brutality. See them left go shoot the woman because she poor. I did a video, and I said some things in the video that it's causing people now to this day if you still message me and say, Sir P, what go on? We have some kind of crystal ball or nothing? No. I don't need a crystal ball. Between having common sense, right, and having a very good understanding of how certain operations take place, I knew the story was complete nonsense. I said to the people, the only way a JDF soldier would shoot Susan Bogle 3 times is if his weapon was on 3-round burst. And even so, that would be an extraordinary act of negligence, right? Because there is no reason why any JDF soldier should be going into a civilian home and firing his weapon on 3-round burst. I said that, go listen about the video, right? But I said that's the only way she would get 3 rounds. Why on earth would a JDF team leave up park camp, go in a woman's house, see a disabled woman on her bed, shoot her 1 time, then she scream out as the residents claim, and then shoot her 2 more times. Jamaican people heard that. Unicorn buying Jamaicans heard that and think to themselves, yeah, that makes sense. That makes complete sense. That is a story and a narrative I'm willing to accept. Incredible. People, look at your screen. These are the statements from the residents who spoke to the gleaner. Yes, I think it was the gleaner. When she get the first shot, we hear she ball out. And the soldier still fire 2 more shots. She got 3 rounds, right? I mean, residents, what reason would residents have to lie, right? We all know that in these situations, every single resident is completely reliable and have no other ulterior motive or agenda, right? To somehow paint the security forces in some kind of light that would possibly make them come to the community less because more pressure upon them. Right? I mean, residents wouldn't lie about something like that, would they? Surely not, because I mean, they love Susan Bogle. They would never lie. Oh, interesting. Look at your screen right now. This was the next bombshell to come out, and immediately people start to scratch them head. Immediately, those residents, the reliable residents, were starting to look a bit shaky because, and it says on your screen, the commission noted, and this is Indicom, that present at the postmortem was also an independent observer at the request of the family. That is important because we know Simon and Simone will say, well, that's just because government lie about what happened at the postmortem. That's because Indicom work for JDF and police, even though the narrative is normally that Indicom fight against the security forces. But because that would match this narrative, they've now switched it, and they're now saying that Indicom work for the security forces, so they can't even make up their mind. Which one is it? Indicom fight against security forces and help criminals, or are they fighting? They're on the side of the security forces and fight against people? Which one is it? Make up on the mind. Right. That's the thing about narratives, because they're not built on a fact or a reason. Right. They tend to have a flip flop all the time. So let's see what the examination discovered. It said, during the examination, a single gunshot wound to the chest was observed. She was only shot one time. But the resident said the soldier went into the room, fired one shot, hit her, she balled out, and then him gave her two more. Which, based on that description, that sounds like an execution. That sounds like an execution. And if you listen to my video, I said, if that round that took Susan Bogle's life came from a JDF weapon, it would have had to be some kind of monumental screw up in the crossfire. Gunman did a fire back. How me know that? Because the residents them link me. This is why I said some residents at the start. Other residents of Augustown, people link me and tell me say gunman did the other fire shot. But you see them residents there, those honest residents, law-abiding residents in a bad man place, them can't go to certain things when the media is there. Them can't jump in front of the camera and say, no, I lie them I tell. Gunman that shoot off, it was an exchange of bullets, I lie them I tell. Those people have to keep quiet in a bad man place. And when time they keep quiet, then them can come link me now and tell more really go on. Complete lie. She never got no 3 shots. Why on earth would the military deploy for going on and disable woman out, shoot her one time, she ball out, and then shoot her 2 more times again? Simple Simon and Simple Simone say, well, of course it's because she swore. And that's a reasonable enough argument. But again, I want you to look at your screen because things are getting real interesting now. See, Indicom has now come out and said that they can confirm that criminals were firing shot by the house. So there was an exchange of gunfire. In other words, there was a shootout. Just like the residents them tell me a long time. The PIA not surprised with that. Only hear about that. PIA hear that a long time. You know what I'm going. Of course, them like exchange rounds. Right? Of course. It's the only way she could have been shot if she was shot by a JDF member. There had to be some kind of shootout and she got caught in the crossfire. Now, the reason I want to look at your screen is because there's a message here from Leah Tavares Finson. For those of you, if you don't know, that is the daughter of Senator and big-time lawyer Tom Tavares Finson. She says, and I quote, Pinky, and that's Pinkwall, for those of you who don't know, groupie. Do not hide my ID. In other words, make everybody see it. So this is not like any private conversation I'm putting out there. She wants people to see it. She put it on one of the most popular blogs in the culture. So if she want everybody to see it, so make everybody look on it and scrutinize it, shall we? Pinky, do not hide my ID. A woman was killed in Augustown. Full stop. Susan Bogle. Full stop. Nothing is conclusive yet. The Observer writing headline that his gunman killed the woman, when they know they don't have true evidence. The true evidence. Okay, whatever. Anyway, see, this is important. This is important. For those of you who don't know, Leah Tavares Finson is one of the few people in Jamaica, maybe even the world, to hold a degree in both anthropology and gunmanology. Leah Tavares Finson is the quintessential example of a kerosene oil, to the point where her eyes can rearrange text to see where she wants to see. Because let's read what the Observer actually said, shall we? Remember, she said, Observer writing headline that his gunman killed a woman. But as you can see, even Goopy put it right underneath. Skillfully, by the way. Indicom confirms that criminals fired shot in Susan Vogel's room. Let me say it again. Indicom confirms that criminals fired shot in Susan Vogel's room. In other words, in the room where she was, shot exchange left, right, and center, and gunman fire shot too. In the article, it makes it clear that them find some rounds that belong, them find some shells that belong to the JDF, and them find some shells that them can't, where they're not accounted for. In other words, I must the gunman fire them round them. But just like how some people can read Arabic, Leah Tavares Finson can read Acidic. So when she see that, her eyes translate that to a gunman shoots Susan Vogel. She wants to exonerate the gunman them and put it on JDF so badly that's her eyes them see where she wants to see. But me telling us a narrative is a powerful thing. I mean, this is Tam Tavares Finson's daughter. I'm sure she went to some of the best schools money can buy. Some of the best schools money can buy. And as she put on her page, she has a degree in anthropology. She not put the gunmanology degree on her page though.
Hold on. Let me stop it right there. I know you did not just call Leah Tavares Finson a kerosene oil. Do you know who you're talking about? Leah Tavares Finson is uptown. Leah Tavares Finson is special. She don't know kerosene oil. Who do you think you're talking to? I wonder, have you seen Leah Tavares Finson? Does she look like a kerosene oil to you? Does she come from Lariston? Is she from Jungle? Is she from Matches Lane? Is she from Rima? How dare you associate Leah Tavares Finson with kerosene oilism? I don't care if Dogpa is her baby father. So what? I flat out reject any assertion that someone who is from Leah Tavares Finson's background and look like Leah Tavares Finson could ever be a kerosene oil. And by tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, the latest, I expect a full, unreserved apology to not just Leah, but to Dogpa and the whole of the bad man them at Augustone. Failure to do so would see you receive a strict, well-written letter asking you to cease and desist from ever mentioning Leah's name again. And if you choose not to, then the big man himself will be getting in touch. You can't say you were never warned.
Well, as them say, call a speed. But anyway, people, understand this. No matter what happened, Susan Vogel's death was a tragedy. One that does deserve a full and thorough investigation. The problem I had with the whole thing was the narratives of people that farm. I could not believe that people were running with that ridiculous story. It simply did not make sense from the start. Now, understand this. The Indicom have agreed that because them find shot from multiple weapons, right? Them find all 9mm, where most 87 did fire them there, right? Them can't figure out who exactly shoot at them, say it's inconclusive. But listen, even if that round came from the JDF soldier, and it could have, right? It could very well have come from a JDF rifle, right? Them even find 5.56 whenever belonged to the JDF on the scene, right? But let's say it happened and it came from a JDF rifle. That would be a case of an innocent woman being caught in a crossfire and losing her life in tragic circumstances, which is a complete different scenario from the original one that the man them go up there, right, or shoot up this innocent woman in her bed 3 times because she's a poor ghetto woman. That was the narrative. That is what I'm pushing back against. I said in my original video, if them do investigation and find out say negligence go on, then man have to go get it, right? If any kind of foolishness go on, any kind of puppy show negligence go on, any kind of circus thing go on, right, and that cost woman her life, JDF or no JDF, people need to be punished. I said that in my first video. But the original narrative is complete garbage. If that was the case, if me did hearsay, no man, right, no JDF or JCF man, whoever them want be, I could have fireman, go up a Susan Bogle yard, go in the woman room, see her lie down on her bed, shoot her 1 time, she ball out, and then them shoot her 2 more times. If that is what happened, if at that intel me they get, they may deserve to get hung by them seed bag until them dead. Right? If that is what was coming back to me. If they had that kind of brutality, right, and cruelty in them, especially as members of the security forces who should be protecting the people, if that is what went down, not even the grave would be good enough for them. But that is not what went down. That's complete rubbish. Nothing more than a narrative that was being pushed by agents who have for them ulterior motives. What them they know? What them they know? When the investigation came back and said only 1 round she get, not 3. What them they? Where your favorite celebrity there? When it come back and know that the gunman did a fire in the house and them find gunshot where not trace back to JDF, a gunman fired them on there, right? What them they know? Where your favorite celebrity they know? Then gone silent, or what the narrative get mashed up. So you see they were never interested in nothing about Susan Bogle. They just saw an opportunity, right, to do them work. But as me say, are them work. As Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage, and the men and the women are just players. Anyway, Patreon squad, big up on yourself. PIA, you don't know, more life. Bless.